Hey guys, going to talk to y'all about some head gasket issues and how some vehicles have blown head gaskets without getting oil in the coolant and oil, and the different types of blown head gaskets to look out for, including with the Subarus, but really anything. Now, these head gaskets probably would have never had an issue besides a little oil leak, but my radiator cracked last year in the middle of nowhere, put me in a bind, and it got ran hot a little bit. So I had the heads done. Well, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the copper former gasket spray or whatever, but they started doing it again. And I'm going to show you the breech patterns and what different symptoms they cause. Now, in most engines, doesn't matter what kind, you'll have passages around the cylinder right here where coolant goes through, right? And these big ones here are oil passages. There. So, depending on where your gasket gives or leaks, you have all sorts of different symptoms. Typically, with 99 and up Subarus, the only issue you'll ever have, as long as you keep coolant in it and whatnot, run it good oil, is eventually they'll start to leak at the bottom of the head right here, where that material, it'll just start to give out like that, and you'll get an oil leak from the oil passages out. And it may smell like it's burning oil or whatever. It's technically not burning oil from the cylinders. It's leaving a little bit of a drip when you park, and it only drips for a minute or two, and it gets on the exhaust. It's not really a big deal. Whatever. You can run it 300,000 miles with that problem. As long as you keep oil in it, you're good. What happened on this one? Well, you can probably tell. This is a seal for the combustion chamber. This is a seal for the coolant passages around here, and then there's the oil passages. So, actually it was going to leak oil, whatever. But if you look here, it's got a combustion leak. Wasn't too bad till I started rubbing on it the other day, but here, pretty bad breach from the combustion chamber to the coolant system. And it was blowing bubbles and exhaust gas into the coolant system. And eventually, the more it did it, the more it would wash material out of the gasket, get a little worse and worse. So there you go. No oil had coolant in it, none. I ran this car for months like that, out of necessity, by keeping oil, checking on it, but keeping coolant in it. Because what would happen, if you dogged on it, it would blow enough exhaust gas into the system to push it out of the overflow and dump coolant out. Otherwise, it really didn't have much of a problem or issue. No misfires, nothing like that. Sitting there idling, you never know, or even driving, you never know there was a problem. No misfires when you floor it. But, again, it would build up a lot of exhaust gas in the cooling system. So you had to keep an eye on it. Flip side, same. Right there, bam. So that's actually same area toward the middle. The outside edges look good. Probably what happened when it ran hot, we didn't get the heads machined. Again, necessity. Making like minimum wage at the time, couldn't help it. Probably this was the weak area in the middle. If the head happened to warp just a hair, with a fraction of a hair, and this may or may not have been eBay gaskets. I was hunting my Felpros, and by the time I found him, he had the heads back on. So whatever, it worked for like all of 8 months. It started to give out, and there, because Felpros are not black, they're blue, and they're not painted like this crap. So MLS gaskets, they are the best, but don't get eBay ones. Felpro are actually really good, as long as you machine the heads. I've never had Felpro ones go bad, aside from the car actually being run hot from a bad radiator or something like that. So, anyway, so yeah, just because the car doesn't have coolant in the oil doesn't mean the head gasket is not blown to heckin' bad. Just because it's not misfiring, just because a lot of things, you gotta check the coolant. The coolant looks like cloudy or something. Pull the cap off, crank it up, rev on it, or, you know, if you can, with the throttle on your hand, or get somebody to rev on it. If it makes bubbles, you probably got a problem. Anyway, I thought it was kind of informative, aside from all the political BS here lately and their car stuff. There you go.